What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to our weekly podcast. My name is Brimstone. Been part of the community for quite some time, and let's keep it gaming.
Hi, I'm Don Gamer 21. This is my mugshot picture, I guess, from the hat. I don't know. That's all I gotta say.
Yes, sir. Co-founder of the Glitch community. Definitely join, subscribe, and anybody else that wants to come into the community and be on these podcasts is more than welcome to. No trolling, no nothing like that. And yeah, we keep it gaming mostly.
What's up, Glitch? Co-founder of Glitch as well. Welcome to the podcast. Hope you enjoy.
What's up, kinggrimpachi? Used to be an Xbot, now I just do it for the money.
The money.
What's up, YouTube? This is Matt, another co-founder of Glitch. Let's get this show on the road.
Well, the first topic I want to talk about in honor of Evo is fighting games, man. You know what I mean? What is your favorite fighting game in general? And I'll start this thing off by saying I like Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. You know what I mean? I've played many a fighting game in my days since way back, but to me, that's my game of choice. You know what I mean? Let's start this off with Bremstone.
Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, did you actually see Justin Wong's when he did that whole combo breaker thing at Evo? Oh my goodness, yo. He did it again. He did it again. We'll definitely check that out. For anybody that hasn't seen it, it's an amazing comeback from what he does.
Okay.
Favorite fighter. My favorite fighter right now to this day is probably still Tekken. But I just never. I've always liked Street Fighter, but I've never played it competitively. I always played Street Fighter just whatever, goofing around. But Tekken was the first fighting game where I was like, yo, I want to get into it. Tekken and Soul Calibur.
Yeah, I would definitely have to go with Soul Calibur. I thought, since you posted the questions earlier this week, I was thinking about it. And I didn't want to go with the cliche Street Fighter answer. And then I realized that that isn't my answer. Actually, my answer is Soul Calibur from PlayStation back in the days. And moving forward, I will still always spend countless hours on Soul Caliburs. And the fighting game changed all of a sudden. I remember it used to be, or maybe it was just always this way, and I just realized it as I got older. The frame counting and all the other, the hitboxes and all that extra stuff that comes with it. But back when I used to play fighters, I never paid attention to any of that. And now it's like a completely different ball game to me. So I'm just gonna have to go old school Soul Calibur for that.
Yeah, that definitely speaks in volumes about Street Fighter, though, because I'm pretty sure that crossed everybody's mind as soon as we saw that question posted up. I'm pretty sure that crossed everybody's mind at some point to say Street Fighter, you know what I'm saying, which is the cliche, easy to go with. And, pretty much that leads on to one of my favorite fighting games, which is Capcom versus SNK 2. I enjoyed that game massively. It's crazy. Other than that, maybe also remember Rival Schools, but I definitely have to give it to Capcom versus SNK for me.
Yeah, I started to go with that, but man, that damn Marvel vs.
Aha!
Capcom 3, I just love it. It's something about the gameplay, man. You know what I mean? It's just so fast paced, man. It's like moving at 100 miles per hour, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to even watch it, honestly, because you're just like, what the hell's going on? You've seen people parry, do 50-hit combos in the air. It's nuts, yeah.
King of the Fight is Brimstone. Which one is your favorite fighter?
Oh, I got so many. But if I had to only choose one or two of them, First one would have to be Tekken 3. That's probably like my all-time favorite Tekken game. And as far as 2D platforms go, man, I'm right there with you. Capcom versus SNK too. That game was awesome. I played the hell out of that game. Yeah, I played the heck out of that game back in the day. And if I was to have a third, I would have to say Bloody Roar 2. Definitely Bloody Roar 2. I love those games. I like fast-paced fighters. I love broken 2D ones like the BlazBlue series too. Like those are always fun. Getting somebody caught up in an infinite loop is funny to watch, especially when they can't escape it.
Terrible.
See, that's that new age shit that I'm talking about. That wasn't there back in the days, infinite loops and 60-hit juggles. Like you make the wrong move, the match is over. You like, what the fuck happened? I didn't even get my quarter's worth. What went down?
Yep. Bloody Roar kind of started that whole thing off. Bloody Roar, during its earlier conception, people were discovering, oh look, I could do an infinite combo loop until the person's dead, and they would never win. Amazing.
Bloody Roar was that shit though, like on the PlayStation. I remember many a dollar was lost playing Bloody Roar in my man's basement back in the day. Off the hook, yeah. Matt, you got a fighter?
You know, I'm really not into fighting games, but I did catch a little bit of that Evo, and I don't care if it's cliche or not. The only thing that kept my attention was that old school Street Fighter. I think I was probably watching for about 30 or 40 minutes. They were playing like the Championship Edition. Yeah, that's what's up.
Dude,
yeah, I really didn't watch anything else.
Juan got knocked out of the whole Street Fighter thing like early, dude. He didn't do well at Street Fighter, but he came back and won the Marvel versus Capcom. Like, you have to see it, bro.
That was a good fight. I watched that whole entire thing when it came to Marvel versus Capcom, and I watched half of the Super Smash Bros. Stuff. The Smash Bros. Stuff was not nearly as entertaining as I thought it would be.
That's all I want to touch about. Like, Smash Brothers, people say it's competitive, or it could be anything could be taken competitively, but Smash Brothers in the competitive scene. See, the thing is, it's funny. If any competitive Smash player, they could only play competitive Smash, or they claim they can only play with the items off. The game has items for a reason. That's how I look at it. That's how it is by default. Anytime my friends come over and they want to play competitively, they're like, take the items off. I'm like, well, all I play is what items on. I got combos and shit I can do with these items. Since you're so good, keep them on. Yeah, it's not fair that you're hitting me with guns. And I'm like, look, it takes skill to throw a gun, catch it in midair, throw it again, catch it in midair, and throw it back at you again till you can't get out the map. Like, I don't know. I think they should turn the items back on. I think it'd be a lot interesting. But I was watching someone play it, and they just kept doing the same move over and over. And I'm like, this is boring. I can't watch this for too long.
Yeah, that's one of the things I couldn't watch very long at all, because it just felt like the same thing over and over. It probably would be a little more interesting if they actually put the items on there.
I'm just glad that Evo's getting as big as, you know what I'm saying, as it is, man. Like, there's millions of people watching that at some point, and it's pretty crazy. And we're seeing a lot more of these you know, these events start to go public. They're going on TV. They're starting to become almost like sports in a way, which, hate it or love it, it's still exposure to the industry, and I love that aspect of it. Don, what do you think? Why doesn't
DOA get more love?
Yeah, right?
DOA deserves more love. Yeah, DOA was probably one of the better tech fighters out there.
It is it's simple and it's techy in the same breath, and it can get extremely complex. I don't understand why it's really not looked about with a lot more favor than it is.
DOA?
Yeah.
I think the thing with DOA is, you know, I don't think that game is very responsive in the sense, because there's a lot of times where I'm like, I know I'm countering you. I know I'm doing it, and it's not working. There's a lot of times, even people who I know play that game, like, that's all they play. They're like, yeah, it's plenty of times where it's like, I know I'm timing it right, and it's not working. I don't think they have that down perfectly yet.
Don Gamer, did you want to weigh in on your favorite fighter?
For me, it was Soul Calibur 2 or maybe Soul Calibur 3. reason is like, well, 2 I played it on the first time I played Soul Calibur. I played 2 on the GameCube. I really liked using Link. That was fun for me. My sister would always use Keelik and spam that one attack. That was basically once it starts going, there's no way getting through it. That was annoying. But it was a pole move which just goes straight forward and you can't do nothing about it.
Yeah, that pole swipe.
Yeah, that one. That it was, the reason why I like 3 is basically now I'm not sure. I never got to play 1, so I wouldn't be able to tell for sure. But in 3, I noticed it brought in the character creation option where you get to create your own character. That I liked. Let's see, for some reason I played that on the PS2. That one until my data got corrupt and I lost stuff. But other than that, I really liked 2 and 3. As for like 5, well, I didn't care for the story, not one bit. Sorry to say.
Yeah, 5, I didn't like that.
Yeah, 5 was the one that I was like, you know what? I'm okay with just not playing that one this time.
That story creeped the shit. I was like,
yeah, I didn't like that either. Yeah.
It looks like we have some new people. SD, what are your thoughts on favorite fighting game ever?
My favorite fighting game ever.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tough one.
Metal Gear's not a fighting game.
So many to choose from.
Well, I mean, I've got I think I've got like the Fatal Frame collection or whatever. Or not Fatal Frame, what's it called? Fatal Fury, yeah.
Yeah, Fatal Fury was another good one.
Then there's like, actually, there is one that I played a lot of recently. That was Blaze Blue.
Yeah.
Blaze Blue was pretty awesome. And it wasn't just the combat. I mean, Blaze Blue had a shit ton of content. Even aside from the fighting, there was like a whole bunch of like side stories, a bunch of gag reels in the game. Like it was just a shitload of content.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving forward, AG, what's the next topic you have for discussion?
Next topic. What are you currently playing now? And I'll start it off by saying I was playing Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 3, and I was really getting into that thing. I mean, before I was just playing it like every now and then, but once I sat down and actually started playing it, man, I played that thing for maybe like 3 days straight. Well, not gonna lie to you.
Damn.
Okay, Grimpachi?
I decided to go at my Steam library. I know I share games on Steam, so Holy just got Killing Floor. I gotta play some of that, but I've been playing Max Payne and I've been playing Link Between Worlds. I've been playing Mario. I've been playing a lot of different games on multiple systems.
Okay. Dread.
Recently got back into a bunch of old catalog games, actually, trying to finish up beating Persona 4.
Come on, we all know you playing The Last of Us, like, not lying, yo. Come on.
You know that was coming next. I'm actually playing a lot of The Last of Us multiplayer to get ready for, the remastered version on the PS4, so that's what I've been playing lately.
Brimstone, do you care to share your catalog currently?
Oh, of course. So, as most of you guys know, I've been cracking out my Wii U. Tatsunoko vs. Capcom is something I've been really going pretty heavy on. Mario Kart 8 is the second, and then The Last Story has been the third.
How is that game coming along for you, The Last Story?
It is actually really good. I remember reading some reviews on it, and people were really hating on the voice acting and whatnot. Regardless if they're British type voices or not, the game is still really good. That was like the main gripe and reason why that game got such low scores.
Wait, they gave it low scores because of British
voice acting. Voice acting, yeah, that was like the big thing. No one liked it because of the voice acting. I was like, really? There's many more things that game could have gotten low scores for besides voice acting. But yeah, Wii U's been getting a lot of use lately, to say the less.
That's good. Support that Nintendo, people. SD, what are you currently rocking?
Like, what am I playing right now, or what do I have in my collection?
What do you have in heavy rotation?
Heavy rotation, I've been playing some Mass Effect and some Fallout 3. In fact, I uploaded some videos recently. 2 videos showing some stupid glitches in Fallout 3. And then I just posted some gameplay of Mass Effect of me playing I was playing a shepherd and I was doing just making her a total bitch.
That's always fun, right? All right, now that Thuggy's got his mic unmuted, let's welcome him to the cast. Thuggy, what are you currently playing?
What's up? I've been playing Jet Rocket 2 and then the One Piece game. That's pretty much it.
That One Piece, how is that?
Yes. It's good.
It's good? Okay, cool. Matt?
Yeah, I've been playing a little Lightning Returns, and I just got Guacamelee for the PS4, so I've been checking that out a little bit. But as usual, I've been cracking out on Final Fantasy 14.
Alright, as for myself, I've been... Oh, damn, let's see. I'm going to give you all the short list. MLB.
Ready for the scroll, son.
MLB on the 4. Final Fantasy 14 on the 4. Watch Dogs. Guacamelee and Max on the 1. Persona 4 Golden on the Vita. Zelda Ocarina on the 3DS. I'm just on my Wii U. I'm still playing Donkey Kong and Mario Kart 8. So yeah, I'm never at a loss for something to play. That's for sure. I'll tell you that. Did we got everybody?
Some retro games.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Don, did you weigh in on what you're currently playing? I'm sorry.
Currently playing. Right now, I've been playing between the 3 following games. Final Fantasy 14. Also been playing some Final Fantasy 10. If those that follow the channel probably know I've been playing that a bit. I haven't put all of them up yet. I just play a little bit and put up later. But I've also been playing Conception 2 on the Vita, which is kind of fun, but it's seems to lack something that Persona kind of had. It reminds me of Persona before, or Persona games, only it's kind of lacking something that kind of hard to kind of really I can't put my finger on, hard to kind of really get you hooked on it, But overall, it's a fun game. It's just that it's like it's trying to be Persona but can't.
Well, there's a couple of those that have come out now, because Trigger Happy Havoc is another one that shares a lot with Persona, and I got the same way when I was playing that. It was just like, it's good, but I could do without it right now. Like, I'm not dying to play it.
Oh, I know what it is. I know. Sorry, I'm sorry. I just realized something. Like, I think I know what it is. That's kind of hard hook. It seems to focus more on the social dating sim aspect rather than the gameplay. It's more heavily leaning on that side, I think.
Well, isn't it based upon your relationship, the kind of demons you can create, and so forth and so on?
Yeah, what are we talking about, Conception?
Well, kind of. See, in Persona,
Conception, the purpose of Conception is to sleep with women to make babies.
Yeah.
Are we talking about the same game?
That is the game. That is the game. You have sex with underage teenage
Are you
girls,
kidding?
and then you have babies that fight with you. Yes,
Yeah.
Are we talking about the same game? Because that is not Persona.
No,
You're talking about Star Child on the Vita.
No, it's called it's Conception.
Conception.
It's called Conception 2. I think it is Conception 2 Star Children or something like that. I think that's what they're called. But
yeah, it might be called Star Child or something to that effect. But yeah, it's based upon your relationship and the type of woman you sleep with.
This is a spoiler. This is in the very beginning of the game. You're Jesus. I'm not bullshitting. You're Jesus. You're Jesus.
And you classmate with other girls.
Yes, you classmate, aka sleep with other chicks throughout the game, make babies, and in the combat it's not as good as Persona. Because I was thinking about getting it, but I don't know. It's not fun. The game itself, the combat's kind of boring. But you have children that you bastardize when you don't need them anymore, and you fight with them.
That is this game now, son.
Going back to the 80s, huh? Like bunch of bastard children running around. Yo, man, AG, what you got next for us, man?
Well, since this is such a hot button topic in the community, I want to talk a little bit about PCs versus consoles, man.
I'm gonna take this one first. I'm gonna try to make it as short and simple. A console is not a PC. A PC is is always going to be the superior platform, yo. It's always going to look better. It's always going to run better. You cannot, again, expect a $400 or $500 console to outperform a PC that people spend upwards of $1,500 to $200, $2,000 on. It's just not conceivable. That being said, we give in trade-offs. We understand. PC gamers, we don't care. We buy consoles for the reason that we just sit them there. We stick whatever we're going to stick in it, and it plays. Yes, we hear your arguments.
You know what? That sounds like a whore.
We sticking in
we just got done talking about sleeping with girls to make star babies. To we just stick it in, nigga.
Down and stick it in, and
the PC is always gonna be superior. It's fine. If you know what I mean, it's okay. For the simple trade-off of it, I'll live with it. If I want, when and if I choose, me personally, to get a PC, I will have a beast rig. But for now, I have 3 consoles, which I'm so satisfied with, and I'm okay with the trade-off. I accept the trade-off. That is why I bought the consoles. So.
You got the Xbox One's trade-offs?
The Xbox One is just. Let's just not get on that guy, yo. Please.
Stop before the rant.
I don't suffer from buyer's remorse, and I completely knew what I was getting with this system. So, like, I'm okay with it. But, again, like, at the end of the day, if I wanted a PC, I don't have that naive mindset that I got this console and it's going to give me Witcher 3 the same as a $1,500 PC. Now, if Ubisoft was making Witcher 3, then there's a chance for that. You know what I mean? I understand that. But, going in forward, no, it's not. You buy a console for the simplicity, the ease of use. No matter what y'all PC gamers say, there's always issues. And that's something that, you have to want to put up with. And when it comes to me in gaming right now, I don't want to put up with them issues. So that's just my take on it. Again,
you never hear PC gamers talk about missing DLL files.
Say again?
I said you never hear PC gamers talk about missing DLL files.
Well, that's true.
All
right, yo, let's not everybody get nuts. Let's go down a conga line starting with Grim.
I plan on, I already did my problems with PC, but I'm gonna do like the good, bad, and ugly of it, soon on my channel. But when it comes to PC, what I want people to understand is this: don't make the mistake I made of just buying shit you already own. I mean, unless you want to play it again, don't just buy it saying, "Oh, I want to see what it's gonna look like." Because if you're not really a graphics whore, and I don't mean that in a rude way, because there are some people who just love visuals so much they will replay a game over and over and over because it looks better. So if you're not a graphics whore, don't make the mistake I made, but play new experiences that you can only play on PC. Try to play some of the exclusives. Like I said, there's a whole genre only on PC, MOBAs. For the most part, the majority of MMOs are on PC. Play other games. Don't just come on. I mean, you can come on and play multiplayer all you want, but I'm letting you know the consoles most of the time, it's more stable most of the time. Like I said, I don't remember too many times I had a broken game. I probably had my whole time of gaming on the console probably like 4 broken games. On PC, I've had 10, and that's within like the first 2 months that I had to fix. Like Max Payne 3, I just got that to work again, and I can only get it to work in DirectX 9. So, I mean, PC has its issues. Everything has its issues. Like Joey said, when you go bang for bang, it is superior, but you got to accept the trade-offs. Like, so if you can accept those, then, I wouldn't advise you to get one. But if you do, try to play some only PC titles. You might like them because they're pretty good. That's it.
Okay, AG, what is your take on PC versus consoles?
The way I look at it is like this, man. They're 2 completely different platforms, you know what I mean? It's like basically comparing apples to oranges, you know what I'm saying? I mean, with the PC, you have your own set of exclusives. You know what I mean? Like MMOs and stuff. Me personally, I like MMOs, and games like StarCraft too. But then on a console end, you have a completely different set of exclusives like The Last of Us, Halo. You know what I mean? It's not even fair to compare them. For one, I spent almost $1,400 on my PC personally, and might have spent 400 to 500 on my consoles, and that's not really fair to even compare the two like that to begin with. You know what I'm saying?
That's a at least you have a rational look at it. That's saying a lot less for a lot of other people. Let's get an own console gamer only opinion. Dread, what is your take on the whole thing?
Well, yeah, like everybody else has been saying, it's really hard to compare the two of them. Even though they both play games, it's really hard to put them in the same boat with each other. But I think it's to anybody's opinion. If they're feeling that the exclusives on the consoles are better or vice versa, that's where it should be. Like, we all know that, yes, the PC has the upper hand on consoles, and the way how it's growing now, I think from here on out, we won't see another console that's more powerful than what's on the market PC wise. But it all comes down to the exclusives, like AG was saying. There's some experiences on console that you can't get anywhere else.
Okay, for the PC people that watch this, I want y'all to pay attention. So far, all these people have agreed that PC is the powerful platform, but we really tend not to really care. So far, Matt, what do you want to say about that?
Just like AG said, it's apples and oranges. They're just two separate worlds. And I got both. I got PC and console. And I think a lot of the YouTubers out there that make negative videos about consoles or make negative videos about PCs, I think they're just stemming from buyer's remorse. Because the best plan is to basically have everything that you want to play, basically.
And there you go. But fanboys don't realize that. SD.
Well, I think the best way I can put this is that I agree that the PCs will always have the better hardware, but that's mainly because the new hardware, while they don't have to upgrade every year, like some people say, and this is true, you don't have to upgrade it every year, but that is the interval between which we see the new technology from the old. You look at the new Kepler processors compared to the Jaguars and the APUs that AMD's had, and it's only been like a year since the change between the two. But in terms of let me just quote this description I put in a video that I made. To all PC gamers, there is no PC master race. Your machine is not a fucking Deus Ex Machina. Get over it and play your game, have fun, and encourage others to do the same, regardless of the machine they use.
Man, shots fired.
No kidding. It's not the PC that we hate, guys. It's the snobbish fucks who think that they're better than others just because they have one. And I think that's the biggest issue right there.
I agree. Yep.
The Brimstone, hold on. I'm going to let you close this topic since, you have what I think is a very good experience on both ends. Thuggy, would you like to touch this topic, sir?
I'm good.
Console gamer.
Don, did you weigh in yet, sir?
I don't really have much to say.
Okay, well,
I just I mean, I do agree. I do agree with most of it being said. You can't really put both in the boat, both in the same boat. But there is one thing I like. If you were, the one thing I do find interesting about PC compared to console is the fact that there's the possibility of upgrading. You can swap out parts, put new parts in, push tower, stuff like that. Which is with a console, you get basically what you're paying for. But like I said, they're both separate. Like you said, they're both separate, and just that. I'm sorry, I'm getting nervous here.
It's fine. There's no need to be looking at that. You reach down deep.
You can't be nervous with a fedora hat.
You know what I mean? Thuggy, did you want to touch on it real quick?
It's a bald spot. No,
I don't really get nothing to say about it. Seems like a bad topic.
All right. So go ahead, Brimstone. Why don't you finish off this topic? Yeah.
All right, so the overall encompassing thing as to why this even exists, as far as the whole PC versus console thing, I honestly believe it comes from uneducated PC gamers to uneducated console gamers clashing at the same time, going into debates whether or not which hardware is better than the other. If you're somebody who researches your console, researches whatever platform that you're on, you should be happy with what you got. Because if you research it properly, then you know what to expect. You shouldn't have any higher expectations than what the hardware can actually have an output of. The moment you start to try to increase your expectations after purchasing said platform, your expectations keep going higher and higher based on that platform's output, then that to me is an extremely uneducated buy. And all the hate stems from that very encompassing, really uninformed purchase. That's where buyer's remorse is to me. This entire console war thing is buyer's remorse ridden, and that's just my take on it. And personally, I have both. I've always gamed on both my entire life, throughout my entire gaming career of my life. You can't have one without the other, and that's fact right there. Hardwares are shared between the two. Performances are shared between the two. Multi-platforms are designed with limited hardware, so that way it forces the console manufacturers and the developers for those games to actually build more to the metal to have an equal equivalency of performance on a PC. That's what the PC lacks really, is developing to the metal. They don't do it. They're like, oh look, it takes 8 gigs to run such a simple program. Are we gonna fix it? No, people will buy it. That's pretty much PC gaming in a nutshell. That's it.
Before we go real quick, I just want to say this. All right, like you say, they should not be compared or anything like that. But this is the issue. They are on a daily basis, and when the conversation arises, it's always like some retarded situation. Like, for example, if most of the time, or my experience, a console gamer will go to a PC gamer for confirmation to bash on another console gamer, right? And misinformation is spoken, and PC gamer talks and says, well, it's no reason for you to brag or to whatever when you can't brag because the PC's better. Like, that's how it goes every single time. But there are people who just argue to argue. Like, if you go on any PC game, right? Go on Counter-Strike Online and try to say like a console is better than a PC, they will ignore you, number one, and they won't even engage you in conversation because it's a dumb statement to even make and to even like talk about.
So, are you trying to say it's these pseudo PC gamers that just started PC gaming to get prettier multiplats that are causing a lot of the issue?
It is that, and it's how they go about it. It's also how they go about it. Instead of them just saying, hey, look, the PC, you can get better visuals and better frame rate over here and mods and stuff. You might want to check it out. They don't do it like that. Instead, they try to ridicule and talk shit. And, obviously no one likes people that talk shit, so they go back and forth and back and forth. But at the same time, console gamers should never get mad if someone that knows better, regardless if you're a PC gamer or not, because you don't have to be a PC gamer to know about PC hardware and stuff like that. Where someone's informing you about information that you're talking about that is wrong, don't get an attitude or mad and then try to say, consoles and PCs, blah, 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 blah. That's not going to help nothing either.
Yeah, but you're expecting or wanting people to look at things rationally, and in this community, that is a very high task. I agree with you 100%, but you got to realize there are fanboys, they're elitists, and they're all like they're those people for a reason. And that means that all common sense and rational thought has already evaded these people's cerebellum. So, it's hard. But again, moving forward, shut the fuck up and game. You know what I mean? Like,
I want to add to this real quick, just for 1 second. It's something.
This last topic, we'll let AG move forward. Go ahead.
All right. Okay. So one thing I have noticed now that Grimpachi has touched on that, this is what I think these so-called PC elitists that are coming around out of the block right now. I think what it comes down to is they are used to be console fanboys who are looking to be a fanboy of something else. There you go. Done.
Look, they don't love the bitch they were with no more. They moved on and they wanted everybody to feel. I don't know. Fuck that up altogether.
that
feel
these
the need to
consoles would be more like PC this time around, where maybe you could upgrade them and stuff like that. Like, you remember that the N64 had it, and
yeah.
I
One more
wish
thing.
that the next consoles could be like that, where you could maybe buy parts to make it look better, or higher
Yeah, but
frame
then
rate. That'd
see,
be
but
cool
then
as
you
shit.
then see, and here's where we start going on this.
Isn't that what Steam's trying to? Isn't that what Valve's trying to do with the Steam box? Just ask.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing, and we're gonna keep on pushing on this topic too long. But just to touch on what you said, Dredd, that's when you start pushing down that slope of it's not a console anymore.
But,
You
I mean, they're
understand?
pretty
Like
much
if you
not,
start,
though.
yeah, and that's the whole point. Yeah, at some juncture, you see, here's the thing, though. You have to keep it a console as much as possible, because if you start making it more PC and more PC, then fuck your console. I'm just gonna go out and get a PC.
Yeah, but see,
You
that's the
understand? If
thing
you're
that I
gonna
was
get
saying
but
before
see,
with the exclusives. Like, I think that's what's going to draw the people to certain platforms. It's going to
Now,
be
but
the
before,
games.
like, just as a
It's
quick
not going to
statement,
be.
before we go on though, just so people will know, a lot of this shit about PC versus consoles this generation, I also think started from the fact that these articles and stuff before the systems dropped, they were saying the 4 and the 1 were high end PCs a lot higher.
exactly. And I
And
said
that is
that.
the biggest issue, because then you got console gamers saying that they are, and then you got the arrogant asshole PC gamers saying no, but then you
There's
got
no
the ones
way.
just saying, nah, man, it's not. And I'm trying to inform you. I think the issue is like on YouTube and the internet, you can't inform someone out without you seeming like you're trying to like outdo them or something, so they get mad with you.
I remember I asked that question to you and Icy Rhythms in one of my very first hangouts with y'all. If a lot of this freaking PC console thing is because of that, and I really still, like you just said, I really do believe that it stems from that. Now, we can go on about this all day, but we really shouldn't. So AG, what is your next topic, sir?
All right. My next topic is: are we getting too many remakes?
All right, so let Thuggy. There's somebody who hasn't really Thuggy. Why don't you touch on that?
Like, I don't really mind remakes as long as like for instance The Last of Us and these other games that are coming out. I don't really see the point of the remakes like for them games, but like older games, like Zelda and stuff like that, I don't mind the remakes for them.
Okay, Don Gamer.
I don't really have much to say. I heard the cat in the background. Maybe he has something to say.
You hear that cat?
All right, Brimstone. Since your cat wants to be on the mic, why don't you take it?
I would say yes. We're getting too many remakes. Unfortunately, they're not the kind of remakes that we want. I think that's the major issue. It's not so much that we're getting too many. We're not getting the remakes that people want. We're getting the remakes that nobody's asking for, and it usually stems from a business side of things, which I completely understand. I completely get it. It's just honestly, we're coming to a new generation, and we're getting games that are a year old that are remastered. I'm like, come on now, get us games that are like 10, 15 years behind, and it's begging for a remake, not stuff that we've just experienced this past year.
Okay, Matt.
Absolutely, we're getting way too many. I wouldn't have a problem if there are actual remakes, but a lot of them seem like they're flat out just ports. And I really thought they were going to stop at The Last of Us, but lo and behold, looks like Beyond Two Souls, possible remake, Uncharted, possible remake. Yeah, it's kind of getting out of hand at this point.
I think it's only the buy time until they come up with something really good, personally.
AG?
Yeah.
I was cool with it and all when they first announced The Last of Us, you know what I mean? And the God of War Ascension Collection. And even that Halo Master Chief Collection, you know what I mean? I'm gonna get those stuff, but then they just started just remaking way too much, you know what I mean? You got Devil May Cry coming out. I don't want to fucking play Devil May Cry, you know what I mean? I done played that shit 2 fucking years ago, you know what I mean? I'm done with that game. And then they just started goddamn with the damn Beyond Two Souls, you know what I mean? Beyond Two Souls wasn't a very good game to begin with, you know what I mean? I done seen it. It's like a whole stream of cutscenes, you know what I mean? I mean, to me, honestly, that game was complete trash, man. They don't need to be remaking trash shit, you know what I mean?
Trust me, it is complete trash.
I know what you mean. That's just crazy. SD, man, what do you think?
Well, I guess you know, we can agree to disagree in some areas, but I gotta say, for me, you know, these remakes, it's true. We're getting way too many of remakes of newer games, and as far as Devil May Cry goes, like, as far as I'm concerned, DMC does not exist. Okay, DMC is dead to me.
You just mad that they gave the boy an emo haircut.
Yep.
No, they did more than that, but that's besides the point. I mean, seriously, squirrel semen in some kind of, you know, spray can. Like, come on.
I was trying not to go there, man.
DMC.
Grim,
let's quickly talk about what.
Grim, you're going last, Grim.
But anyway,
it's not about that. It's not about that.
All that aside, you know, if you're gonna make a remake of a game, at least, you know, and if it's going to be a remake of a game that's, you know, old enough for people to feel a sense of nostalgia, then do a good job.
What about I'm sorry to interrupt, but like this is sense of nostalgia. For me, was it the HD remaster of Final Fantasy X that I kind of liked.
That I actually have that. I did buy that, and I was happy I did.
Yeah, that happens to touch on a sense of nostalgia. That game does, really, it does.
Yeah, it does.
Dread,
so,
do you want to...
there are a few... Sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry, SD. I didn't realize you weren't finished. I apologize.
So, yeah, well, there's definitely going to be a few gems out there that we're all going to like, but it seems like the big fad right now is just, you know, remaking a game that's... You know, it's more of a cash grab rather than a sense of letting older or in this respect younger gamers experience older games. That's probably the idea. That's the idea, but the way they're going about it, it's not really working.
All right. Yep. Moving on, Dread. What do you have on the topic?
Yeah, I mean, I do think that there are a lot of, you know, remasters and ports coming over and everything like that. But I think this whole topic is definitely by opinion, you know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people, like, usually when they hear remastered, they're like, oh, no more remastered. I think as long as it doesn't hurt the process of, you know, whatever development studio making new games, it's not really a bad thing for the industry. We're seeing a lot of people come over from, you know, from previous gen that never had some of these consoles. So some of those games were never able to be, they weren't able to play those games before. And it's more for them than it is for us, the hardcore gamers that play everything as soon as they come out or a little after to where, you know, after it comes out and everything like that. But I don't think it can hurt. I think, you know, it fills gaps between, because I would rather a remaster than nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing too, where I'm like, I'd rather play something that I played before that I like, or, you know, something that I might have skipped on and not experienced, than have nothing in these blank spots where, you know, like the summer droughts pretty much that we're about to hit right now, where there's like almost nothing to play. Last of Us coming out, I can enjoy that.
But then you could also argue that you can go, and I don't mean to interrupt, I'm going to let you finish. You could also argue that if you had, I guess you're making your point that you don't have the previous system that it was on. Because you can get that game cheaper the majority of the time on the previous system that it was just currently on. Very especially true. Like if it was just a year ago or so.
But there's another thing too. We got to remember that it's not only the remake of just the game and everything like that. It's also the features of these new consoles that I want to enjoy. Like I like pressing the share button on my PS4. I can't do that with my PS3. I'd have to hook up a connection device or a capture device or something like that in order to go through all that. I like having the party chat system open, and those are the features that I want to play it with. So it's definitely opinion, I think, sometimes where people, you know, if they don't like most of the remakes or they played them before, or, you know, they didn't like the game.
That was definitely a very valid point. Yeah. Now, my take on this is simple. Yeah, honestly, way too many remakes. I bought a new system for new IPs and new experiences. I bought 3 new systems for new IPs and new experiences. That being said, certain remakes do have a place, i.e. The Last of Us maybe, because there are so many people coming over from Xbox that don't have a 3 who would not get to experience it if it wasn't for this new PlayStation 4 version coming out. But again, and people touched on it earlier, When you start taking a game like a Beyond Two Souls, which sold shit on the PS3, and then you want to put it on the PS4, or a DMC that just came out a year or so, 2 years ago, or any other game really that just God of War Ascension, I don't really think that shit should be remade. The Master Chief Collection, what they're doing with it, what they're doing with Halo 2 by itself, by all means, yeah, if you're going to give me a remastered version, give me a remastered version like that. Wind Waker HD, that's a remaster that's worth it. Just don't try to put it on the system and charge me $60 for it just because, you know, spit shine it a little bit and try to get some money, because it's not worth it. Now, in terms of it not hindering development, you got studios, and I hate to agree with this gentleman, Next Gen 720, but Mass Effect 4 is being delayed because they're working on bringing you the Mass Effect trilogy. Now, that's when this shit it goes too far. Now, if you're not gonna give me a new experience because you want to rehash and cash grab an old experience, you're kind of fucking up. Like, that's just the way I look at it, though. And again,
and
like
that's
said,
an experience that has been done multiple times already, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, but
out.
you know, and then we're gonna, you know, throw it to the king of this argument, Grimpachi. Go ahead, man.
First off, I'm gonna need Dred's assistance. I'm gonna tell you why they do these remakes. Dred, can you give me the SpongeBob, Mr. Crabwatch, real quick?
It's the money.
Yeah, it's the money. It's the money. It's the money. Yo, like, all right, so I've dealt with remakes, and a lot of the times they're done wrong, and they're just not. They don't put any effort into them. Like, for example, a lot of people don't realize a lot of these PS2 remakes you see on the 3, they come for the fact that the majority of these games, the PS2 is not backwards compatible anymore. The ones that are, you can barely find unless you go on eBay or go get a used game. So you just can't buy them anymore. And then the games that they remake, they make sure that they aren't on the PS2 digital download list because they want that extra cash. They do that on purpose. When you take a game like Wind Waker, which is old as dirt, and you remake it and it looks like it does on the Wii U, it seems like they put an effort into it and they gave a fuck. Master Chief Collection, you can't really compare to The Last of Us because that is a collection package. But if you want to compare Wind Waker or the Halo Anniversary to what they did there to what they did over there, I guess you could make that comparison. It looks totally different. Games that just dropped, that just released, I will never say should be remade because they would just drop their release. Remade, you know, ported, all that stuff. You know, if they want to port a game, say you're going to port a game. Don't say you're going to make something or remake something, and when you do, make it right. Like, the Vita as of now, which I like the Vita. I encourage anyone to get one. It has a lot of good games. But a lot of the Sony games that are on there are remakes and just rehashes of old games, and they're ports from PS3. Those ports don't work right. And I'm talking about the collection packages, like the Ratchet & Clank one has frame rate issues, the Jak and Daxter has frame rate issues, the Sly Cooper, the God of War, all of them got issues, and it's because what they did was they took the PS3 version, coded it for the Vita, and flopped it instead of building it from the ground up to work on the Vita. That's
Are you sure God of War 3's on the Vita? I have not seen that.
What game you say? No, God of War 1 and 2, the collection that they made for PS3, that same collection is for the Vita, and it runs like dirt on the Vita, and we all know the Vita is it is superior than a PlayStation 2, and it is close to a 3. It shouldn't run like that. It runs bad. It should run at a smooth frame rate, and it does not.
So basically, they cut corners and shit, and just being lazy, and then
they're being lazy. It's not even necessarily cut corners. What they did was they took the PS3 version and put it on the Vita and then optimized it for the Vita, so it runs like dirt because the 3 is more powerful than the Vita, but the Vita is not too far behind.
You know, I'm not sure if I can use this as I'm sorry, but I'm not sure if I can use this as an example. But I downloaded the Final Fantasy 8, I think. You know, what's the one with the guy with the gun blade? Was that 8? That's 8. Yeah, I downloaded that, and I noticed I had to change a couple. Now, I'm not sure if this is count. This is really same, but I couldn't run from a battle that I was supposed to run from, and I figured out I had to go into my settings directly and kind of just change the controls a bit. But that's probably not the example. That's probably not a good example. Not a good example of what you mean, is it? That's just different, I'm sure.
No. What I'm referring to is, What's a good example? Okay, check it out. Tekken 6, Tekken Dark Resurrection, uh, Def Jam Fight for New York. Those were PS2 titles, right? That they brought to the PSP that ran smooth on the PSP because they optimized it well. What is they're doing? They're not optimizing the Vita ports of these collection packs damn near at all, and they run like dirt. And there's no reason the Vita can handle it. There's no reason why they are. You get my point?
Yeah.
Like they don't run.
Why do that horrible job on it? Is it really just laziness? Is it just about the money now, or is it something else?
Most of the times with a collection, and you can see how they put their effort into it, or like anything, you could tell the amount of effort they tried with something. It really is a bad port. Like for example, Metal Gear is not a bad port. That runs fine on the Vita. They put Metal Gear Solid 2 and Metal Gear Solid 3 on the Vita. It runs fine. Because they didn't do anything new or different for it other than add a couple of touchscreen controllers in there, but it runs perfectly fine. That's and they don't do that for the Vita version for the other games that they have ported over, and that's the issue. Like games can remakes hinder development in certain situations. Most of the time, for most developers, they don't really put the effort into it. And it's just a cash grab at the end of the day. And like I said, I think remakes, they're fine. I have no issue with them, but it shouldn't be so many at the beginning of a generation. And if they are, they should be games that are old. Anybody can go pick up Metro right now. Like I just got Metro 2033 and Last Light for my PC. Those are some good games. But they're making their redux for the PC, PS4, and One. Now, let's be honest.
If you're the PC,
if you're a PC. If you're a PC gamer, you can just mod the game to look whatever they're gonna do to that game. You could just mod it to look like that.
All right,
it's really silly.
We're going a little too far. So, you want to sum up your whole remake?
Yes, we're summing it up right now.
Okay, sum it up, buddy.
Dred, one more time. I need your voice.
The money.
Thank you.
AG, why don't you introduce and touch on the next topic, yo?
All right. What I want to talk about for the next subject is indies, man. And indies in general, you know what I mean? To me, personally, they're like the little cog that makes the bigger cog move, if you get my drift.
Yeah.
And,
can I get an amen? Can I get it?
Preach, yo.
And if you would look at my Steam account, man, I play more indies than anything, man. Even the AAA exclusives, I play more indies than those. I mean, I love a good indie.
That's a beautiful thing. All right, we're gonna go down the conga line. Brimstone, indies. What do you think?
I love them. In fact, I'm playing one right now called Dungeon Hero Siege. I highly suggest you guys go get it. It's $1.29 on Steam right now. It's fun as hell. I love indies for the simple fact they do exactly what they set out to do. They set the standard as what quality should be for the bigger guys to follow suit, regardless if they sell well or not.
Okay.
So,
Don Gamer.
I have no real comment on the subject, actually. I'm sorry to say.
All right, now are you sure you don't have a comment? Because we're going to move forward. And then if you're going to interject, we're going to give you this time now to really think about it. And if you come up with something on the topic.
It's kind of embarrassing that I'm uninformed in this area, but the thing is...
It's not embarrassing, bro.
No.
That's what we're here for.
I just play the game. Most times I just play a game. I can't really tell the difference.
So you just...
indie title?
That's a beautiful thing. You just play games to play games. I mean, that's where I think where everybody should be. That's where we all started at.
Check for a second.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. A lot of times you're playing indies and don't even know it. I mean, The Witcher 2 is an indie.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Really?
So, Dred.
Yes, sir.
Would you like to?
My thoughts on the indies, yeah, man. I love them. I think they're, they definitely take more chance than these AAA, big budget games can take, and they're the ones that are definitely leading the industry right now, as far as I can see it. The Transistors, one of my favorite games so far has been Don't Starve, and that I've had countless amount of hours on that game. It's the smaller studios are taking more risk than any one of these big guys can do because the budget is so high for them to create some of these games that they stick to what people like. Yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Grimpachi?
When it comes to indies, like Don said, if you don't really know about the industry or paying attention, I mean, they're just games at the end of the day. And to be honest, the indies are a lot better than a AAA game in my opinion. Because I look at a game and how good it is, not really how much money they throw into it. Like Broforce, I cracked down on that. Mercenary King's a great title. There's a long list. Minecraft. There's tons of games that are indie games that are great that do big things. Insurgency, but I encourage people to play different games and don't rule out a game just because it's an indie or it's not a AAA game. That's about it, I guess.
Matt.
Yeah, man, I love my indies. I think they're definitely essential to the gaming industry right now. A lot of the indies out there, they take a lot of risk versus a lot of these AAA games. A lot are mundane and the same thing over and over and over. And one of the cool things about the indies is it's just a game that's usually very easy to pick up and play. You don't gotta go log in like Final Fantasy, start reading quests and this and that. Just some shit you want to just pick up and play and start gaming. But yeah, I definitely like them.
SD?
Well, as far as the indies go, I'm not. There are a few that I play, like Papers, Please, is one that I can spend hours playing and still have fun. But it's not really. They're not the game that I gravitate to. Like, as far as some people saying that indies are better than AAA games, I mean, that is debatable. There are some games that you can spend. I guess it depends. Like, what game do you prefer to spend more time playing? If you spend more time playing an indie game, well, then that's great. I mean, that means you really enjoy it. As for me, I got a shit ton of games, and I like to switch between them every now and then. So it's not like I have any dislike for a certain genre. I just got it. For people like me, it's at a point where you got so many games, you want to try each of them out and see how they've aged well or not.
Okay.
I guess I don't know. My stance on indie games is that they're great, but I don't think they should be. They're not the holy ray of sunlight that people that are going to save the industry or anything. It's just something that's new, it's fresh, and it's a breath of fresh air. That's all I got to say.
All right. Thuggy, would you care to weigh in on indies at all?
Yeah. Well, I don't really play too much indies, but I started playing some, and then I actually enjoy it. Sometimes when I play indie games, like, for example, it's a game called Swords and Soldiers. It's like a strategy, turn-based type game. When I first started playing the game, I found myself, playing the game like hours later after I done picked it up and started playing. And so I don't really got a problem with indies games because some of them games are fun and addictive.
I think that's one of the beautiful parts of the indie games when they surprise you and then like you're completely in it and you're like, damn, this shit isn't, it doesn't have to be this big explosions and guns everywhere. That's the magic of them. It's a beautiful thing.
Indies to me are where the industry is getting its innovation from now. A lot of people touched on different topics about it, so I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but they can take the risks that big developers cannot take anymore. I think Dread hit that right on the nail. One of the other things I like about indies are they're simplistic, like Matt said, but here's the thing, they're an art form. A lot of these indie titles will give you art with your gameplay nowadays, and they'll give you different experiences. Some of the experiences they give you take you back to when you first started gaming that a lot of these AAA studios have shied away from. So, it's nice to go back and remember the simplicity of pressing 2 or 3 buttons and not having all these complex controls and everything. And some of them are shovelware, to be fair. In the same vein, a lot of concepts that are in indie games are being put into regular mainstream games. Just look at Titanfall and Blacklight Retribution. So, that being said, also, indie games have made such an impact in our industry now that Ubisoft, which is a major AAA developer, has opened up what they UbiArt, which is basically a little indie studio with big financial backing, and the games that have come out of that studio, artistically, are some of the prettiest games I've seen in a very long time. So indies, like, they're games. Every game is a game. If you consider yourself a gamer, you should be able to pick up and find something to enjoy in almost anything if it's a good game. If it's made well, if it's responsive, any game should have something to offer anybody. Now if you're a dude, bro, and all you want to do is go shoot and stab something, then indie games, yeah, you're too much of a man for indie games. I get that, but while you're not playing nothing, there are people that are playing indie games. So enjoy your launch titles, I guess.
They got dude bro games for indie. It's called Hotline Miami, son.
Nah, it looks like, come on. It's 8-bit. How many? Do you think a dude bro is gonna play an 8-bit game?
Dude bro will play Insurgency or a Shadow Warrior or something like that. But so Joey, you encourage others to play new experiencing games?
I encourage just gaming in general. That being said, AG, can you bring forth the last topic and touch on it?
Joey needs to play Minecraft.
No Man's Skies, I'm gonna throw that out there. No Man's Skies is
Yeah.
All right, what games are you looking forward to? And what game genres would you like to see more of? You know what I mean? I finally decided which console I'm gonna get Destiny on, and so I can't wait to play that tomorrow. I was looking forward to the Order 1886, Uncharted 4, the Halo Master Chief Collection, and Sunset Overdrive. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people don't like Sunset Overdrive, but I mean, just looking at the game for what it is, my personal take, it seems fun to me. To me, that game feels like Jet Set Radio. You know what I mean?
I'm right there with you.
I get that feeling. Thuggy, what are you looking forward to, man?
Well, I'm more into like RPG type games,
Okay.
There's not really too much games like towards the end of the year that I'm really looking forward to. So for like 3 games, 2 of them are RPGs, which is the Fantasy Life game for the 3DS, and the new Persona game that's dropping on 3DS as well, and probably that new Naruto. That's probably the only games I'm really looking forward to.
All right, that's cool. Matt?
Yeah, I would say for this year, 2014, I'm looking forward towards Dragon Age, the new Captain Toad Adventures for the Wii U, and of course, Destiny. Yes, Lord.
SD.
I'm a big time space exploration fan, so the one game I'm looking forward to the most is No Man's Sky.
Okay.
Damn you.
Brimstone.
Oh man. All right, so I'm gonna just talk about one MMO genre, Blade and Soul. I've been looking forward to that game for years now. I can't wait. Indie titles, I'm right there with you. No Man's Sky.
Dread.
Yeah, it's definitely No Man's Skies. I'm looking forward to seeing, what every planet has, how they're going to do the whole endless exploration thing where everybody that starts up the game gets their own planet. Like, I really want to see what that's going to bring, because I think that's going to be one of those games that changes the industry. Definitely without any question, I'm looking forward to, Destiny. Destiny is going to be another huge one. I think that's going to be a game changer right there. Persona 5 for the PS3,
Okay. Go ahead. It's okay. We all know.
Yeah. Without saying.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's over, Cass. I'm looking forward to The Last of Us. Remastered. That goes without saying, man. That's one of my, top 5 games that I really enjoy.
Yo, for those of you who don't know, if he should write the Last of Us wiki. I'm just gonna leave it like that. Don Gamer.
Yes.
What games are you looking forward to, sir? And what genres would you like to see come back?
Genres. Well, I like the RPG genres a lot, but as for games I'm forward, I'm looking forward to Destiny. The order, and what was that? What was that the one he mentioned it for? With the space exploration, what was the name again?
No Man's Sky.
I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna see that with that. So actually, that looked pretty interesting too. I agree with that.
Okay.
Those are pretty.
I'm sorry.
You look like Inspector Gadget right here, son. Adorable.
Grimpachi.
Genre, I would like to see come back. I don't know necessarily this is a genre, but I want more. I know there are some, but I just don't think they're as good as they were in the past. I want more of the anime fighters to come back and be good. I just think they're more flashy than anything. A genre that I hear no one talks about anymore is fun. I don't really hear nobody talk about that. I want that to come back strong. Shit. When it comes to games I want to play, everything that was showed at Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony's E3, I mean, I kind of want to play it all, to be honest. Nothing really that I don't want to test out, want to play. I want to play Sunset. I want to play the new Dragon Ball coming out.
But
I don't know.
what are you most looking forward to? Like,
The
what's
most, you know what it is. Just top 3.
Yeah.
Number 1, the Zelda game. Number 2, maybe Sunset Overdrive. Number 3, Hagel 2, nigga.
The money. Oh, the money.
All right. For me, real quick, I'm in the same boat as Grim. I really just want it all. But I'm a huge whore for games. I'm not gonna lie about it. I will buy and play anything, for the most part, except Minecraft. That being said, I'm really looking forward to The Witcher 3. Like, really, really looking forward to The Witcher 3. And Batman, for whatever reason. No Man's Sky, yeah, but nah. I think, bottom line, it's The Witcher 3 for me. I mean, I'm going to play The Order. I'm going to play Uncharted. I'm going to play all those other games, Sunset. But the game that I'm really sitting down, like, I'm thirsty for would be The Witcher 3. So, that's my take. As far as genres, I would like to see the detective genre explored more. Something that takes a little bit, not Murder So Suspect tried and it failed in some regards and it did well in other regards, but I want to see something that makes you think.
Like an LA Noire or something?
Like
I know a game.
An LA Noire. What's that?
The Secret World.
What is that? I have not heard of that.
Oh, it's an MMO.
Oh, okay.
Yep, it's a good game.
All right. So,
make you think.
I believe we're on your channel this time, so if you want to start up the summary of the show and take us on out, go ahead, man.
You're going to be like, get out.
All right, let's see. We talked about our favorite fighting games. What games are you currently playing now? PC versus console debate. Remakes, indies, and what games are you looking forward to, and game genres that you'd like to see more of. And with that being said, to close this thing out, I'm your boy AG the God, you know what I mean? Remember to keep it 100, and like I always say, remember to be real with yourself. And let's go ahead and ride this thing out. Let's start with Brim.
Brim or Grim?
Brim.
Oh.
Yeah, our country.
Yeah, this was definitely fun. This was definitely fun seeing what everybody's views were on everything. I will say this was a much bigger podcast than I I had anticipated, so I had to plan my topics the way I was going to explain it a little bit better than I was, normally I wouldn't do. So again, that was really fun part of this. All I gotta say is stay tuned. We're going to be doing this every week, and I hope you guys continue watching.
Bi-weekly, sir.
Bi-weekly.
every 2 weeks.
Okay, Don, you want to give your closing remarks?
Just trying to decide what I'm gonna eat for dinner. Soup.
That's when you make a decision, let us know, because we are hanging on that spot. We will not be able to move forward with our lives till we know what we're putting your belly later on.
So we make it chunky.
Drake, go ahead.
Yeah, man. As always, it's fun to come into these conversations. If anyone does want to come to these conversations, you can join Glitch. We do a lot of news a lot of news articles that we put up. As soon as they're up, they'll be in Glitch. It's a good place to stay informed. Constantly posting in there. Joey's constantly posting. People are constantly commenting. It's a good place to be a gamer.
Grimpachi.
We leaving? We out?
Yeah, Grim, closing remarks, Grim.
Get out.
All right.
You ain't gotta go home, Negro, but you gotta get the fuck out of here.
All right. So long. Farewell. Something.
All right. Matt, he mutes his mic before he goes. SD.
No, those the damn
Okay,
ice
Matt.
cream truck outside. I want y'all to hear it.
Ice cream man.
Been gone, son.
Go ahead, Matt.
Great podcast, guys. I'm really glad that we're able to get, a little more people in here.
Definitely.
We're going to do this just like Joey said, every other week. Anybody that wants to join, any real gamers out there, join Glitch. Trolls need not apply.
SD, closing remarks.
Well, it's always nice to be a part of these podcasts. I mean, it's interesting to hear everyone's opinion without the whole, YouTube persona getting in the way. It's nice to hear everyone's thoughts and whatnot, and you have, even constructive criticism on what's going on out there. If anyone out there wants to have, a conversation where you're not.
Hey,
I think you broke up. Thuggy, closing remarks?
I just got 4 words to say. We came for fun.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And I just want to close it by saying thank you and ahead of time if you actually sit and watch this. We appreciate it greatly. Glitch is a community for gamers, by gamers. As Matt said, trolls need not apply. It's all about gaming here. And just keep it gaming, y'all. Like, enjoy whatever you game on. Enjoy it, yo. As I always say, just play it till your thumbs bleed. And with that, yo, we out.
Thanks, AG,
guys.
for
Yes,
taking
AG
the podcast
the
this week.
God. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for hosting our show this time around.
Good looking,
And
AG.
anybody in the community that wants to host one of the has a YouTube channel and like to host one of our shows, get at one of the moderators. I can see who the moderators are. And again, AG, thanks a lot for putting this together this time. We appreciate it.
Giddy.
Anytime.
All right.